And I'm not a very romantic person.
So no date, no romantic dinner,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
How many years has it been since you got married?
Tomorrow it will be 10 years.
Wow. So your birthday and your anniversary
Yeah, is on the same day. The one thing marriage taught me is humility. If the food is good, they'll remember the couple for a week. If the food is bad, they'll remember the couple for a month. And if you don't serve food at all, they'll remember you for a lifetime. And that's what has happened. Paris, you would go to Paris. And then suddenly there's a change in plan, then you go to Morocco, you go to Morocco. So that is how I lived. Because they ran short of money. So suddenly they said, can somebody come and play? So somebody remembered that there's an Indian guy who was playing the guitar like this. So they asked me to come on the stage and I performed. And it was a 2.5 minute piece. And sudden, there was complete recognition. Complete, it was 2.5 minutes that took a complete recognition where people started to ask, why was this special talent hidden for so long?
Wow.
My CDs were completely sold out. Then this lady called Julie Spence comes up and she says, are you interested in performing at the cultural games for the Olympic Games, cultural events for the Olympic Games? So you see, the 2.5 minutes just changed everything upside down. But it took so long of waiting. This was in 2003.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've been, in terms of envisioning using music as missions, was in 1998. So you can think of 5 years with no recognition, and yet you are giving your best. So that is what matters for anyone who is in waiting. Is I would tell them that the lesson I learned is during your waiting, God expects your best.
Yes. Waiting is worship.
Yes, exactly.
Waiting is sacrifice, and sacrifice is what really builds your career forward. Such a wonderful lesson to learn because, all of us, I've seen friends, I've seen some of our church members. I've had a friend who said, those who don't know your story don't need to take part in your glory. So people like the glory and the story part of it, the pain and the gain part of it, but the in-between part of it is where nobody has the patience nowadays. We are in a fast-forward world.
Yes.
You want all instant coffee and everything that needs to be, fast-forward. But waiting is such a wonderful aspect, and I have read through the Bible, and you see, there has not been one leader in the Bible which you can point out really who has not gone through a season of waiting in their life. And those who have patiently submitted to that season of void have truly been propelled in their calling. They have really done great things for the Lord, and same is the story in your case. What a joy it is to know all of these things that have made you what you are today. I'm sure through all of this, your wonderful wife, Mrs. Zanbeni, was with you through every single. She's a blessing to you indeed, and we see that anytime you are ministering, anytime you've been going through different aspects of your decision making in the ministry or wherever you've been called out. I'm sure, just like us, many people are noticing that. Many people are seeing that you're living a very fruitful marriage, and I can confidently say that your marriage is something that everyone can learn from. Till the time you got married, we've seen you traveling alone everywhere, but right after you got married, most places, we've seen you traveling with your wife. She's a very integral part of your ministry at Chai and in the DTS and various other things that you do. Tell us more about how your marriage is and what we can glean from your marriage.
Yeah. Well, first I traveled to every country with the vision that God gave me. And by 2011, I had been to 257 nations. That is both sovereign, 193, 194 sovereign
So
countries.
245 was wrong.
No, 245 was in 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the
So
countries have also
then
grown.
few additional things came up and
Right.
other things. And South Sudan was the last country.
Huh.
It was in 2011. It was birthed,
Okay.
and I was
So
there
this,
6 days.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. This new country called Kailasam is not a country.
No, it is
It's
not.
not sovereign.
It is not recognized. It is not. It's. It depends on.
But it takes courage to build a country, doctor. Let's
Yes,
agree on that.
exactly.
You don't have plans to go to.
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, South Sudan was 6 days old when I went there,
Wow.
and so when I finished traveling to every country, both sovereign and dependent,
Mm-hmm.
then I built Chai 316, and then got married. So my seasons were quite defined actually, and so when I got married, the whole purpose of my marriage was that we would do ministry together, and
Wonderful.
that was something that was a very clear core decision maker in terms of whom I was going to marry, was that we would do things together, and not just somebody would be a support.
Right.
Like one of my friend was telling Benny, when you get married, please don't make your wife a PA. So and she's very much part of the integral process of what we do, whether we travel and minister together, whether it's to do with music, whether it's to do with apologetics, DTS, or Chai 316. So it has never been something that we have bifurcated, saying this is yours and this is mine.
Not 50-50?
No 50-50, and it is 100-100
Oh,
or
wonderful.
0-0. So that's been a very clear part of what our marriage is, and what we do with ministry. And so that's how we have lived. Now, there are other marriages, they have their own dynamics of how they would do things. And there is no one setup that is perfect. And I think God, the way He brought a marriage together, knowing the fact from the end to the beginning, what are our strengths and weaknesses, He put things together in that manner.
So nice to hear that. But tell us, how did you meet? It's fascinating to really see how both of you have grown together, and you've encouraged her to grow along with you. And she has been a wonderful support. I have not seen another singer from an alien language region learning to sing in almost every state language that she goes in, if I'm not wrong. Wherever she travels with you, she learns the song of that region and sings in that. So I see a lot of inputs coming from both of you, and I'm sure it's the same inside your home too. There is equal contribution, because unless it happens there, it doesn't happen on stage.
No.
So tell us, how did you all meet first, and what worked between the both of you?
Well, actually, ours is an arranged marriage. It's not
Oh.
even a love marriage
Wow.
that which surprises many people.
It is.
So we, in fact, when we went for our marriage counseling before we got married, in fact, the counselor said, it's pointless because most of the questions you don't even know each other enough to even ask those questions or answer those questions. And we both we are part of YWAM, Youth with a Mission. So I went to speak for the 10th anniversary of a new facility of YWAM, and in Lonavala. And she was part of the worship team, and I was the speaker. And her director was a very close friend of mine. So he ended up introducing us. And I think we had about a month or so to get to know each other remotely. And then she came.
So no dates, no romantic dinners?
Nothing.
Absolutely
No,
nothing?
nothing.
Does it happen now?
Well, now we do God. We travel together. For us, that's our thing. And I'm not a very romantic person. And I told her before itself. And so just I am who I am. That's it. This is my personality. This is where I live. And so she has accepted the way I am. And so we decided to get married. And then we decided to start our life together and journey together, and we started to learn cultures from each other.
Yes,
Even though I would personally say that if somebody would have advised me, they should have advised me saying that, Benny, take a little bit of time to understand her culture,
Right.
her background, her, her temperament, and other
Right,
aspects.
right.
And the same thing for her, because we both really did not know much about each other and our cultures, which really caused a lot of friction and challenges in the early stages of our marriage. And so that's something that I would advise people is try, especially when you come from two different cultures.
Cultures,
It is not just feeling good about each other, but marriage goes way beyond the emotional and the
Right,
feelings.
true.
And just because you feel so good being around this person is not necessarily
Good enough.
good enough for that, because those feelings keep
Yes.
fleeting and moving from here to there. And so that's what I would say. But that's how we met, and we decided to get married, and we both had very similar thoughts about whom we wanted to get married, and we both were also much more matured in our age too. I was 40 when I got married, so it was not a Bollywood time to run around the trees to figure out what you like and which color you like. And but both of us, we were called for music ministry. We wanted to do something with young people. So these are the things that were integral with us, and so that resonated for both of us, and we moved forward.
How many years has it been since you got married?
Tomorrow it will be 10 years.
Wow. So your birthday and your anniversary
Yeah, is on the same day, and I would highly recommend people never to do that. It's not
you
a
tend
good
to forget
idea.
either one of them?
No, your birthday is gone.
Gone.
It's subdued because the wedding anniversary becomes the core aspect, and no, so that's what I would
But
say.
what would you want anyone watching you to learn from your marriage? The one thing. I'm sure, I don't know, is marriage difficult?
It is. It is difficult, especially the older you get, the more difficult it is, because you become more stiffer.
So you're recommending marriage a little early on in
I
life?
would highly recommend early marriage. But again, having said that, that doesn't mean that you have to get married early, because there are people who have gotten married early and then they're living in hell.
Yes.
No? So I would say that, well, God has His perfect timing for all of us.
Right.
And I would, more than the age, I would say that seek God's will
Yes.
and His timing. But if you had a choice to choose, I would say that early marriage is better, because you're more flexible,
Yes.
and that gives much more room to build things up. Because the older you get, the more set you are, and the more stiff you become, the more you are thinking from your own perspective. And then the tendency is for you to marry somebody who is like you, which is not the best,
Right.
because then the whole thing is there's no dynamics in your
Yes.
marriage, there's no color, everything is just black and black, not even black and white actually,
Right.
So I would say that early marriage is good,
Yes.
but if you happen to get married later, you have to put a lot more effort into the marriage, and there is a lot more decisions that you have to take together. And again, I was so one-man show. Everything was taking decisions.
Right.
And when I got married, I would go and inform my wife, and she'll say that, but I'm not ready. And I said, why? Why? We can go. And she would say, no, but I have other plans.
Right.
I said, but you didn't tell me. And then she'll say, but you didn't tell me that you had plans. So I had to really learn to put my guard down, to work things out. And it was hard. Honestly, it was so difficult, because for 40 years, you are just making your decisions. Morning you feel like going to Paris, you would go to Paris. And then suddenly there's a change in plan, then you go to Morocco, you go to Morocco. So that is how I lived. And suddenly you come here and you make plans together. And when your spouse is not for it, it becomes difficult. Like, for example, during COVID, that's the only year I did not travel. And I thought of going to Maldives. So I told my wife, come on, let's go to Maldives. Tickets are cheaper because nobody wants to travel.
Right.
Hotels are very, very cheap. Come, let's
Yes,
go and
yes.
we can relax and we can do that. And she said, no, I'm concerned about COVID and things are really not good. And I said, come on, let's do that. And she said, if you want, you can go. And I've traveled all my life alone. But now, when you're married, you really want to understand when a no has different levels of no, right? And so I said, okay. So I had to humble myself and surrender the idea of traveling that year. And I did not travel, and we ended up staying back. So uh, it teaches you humility. And for me, one thing marriage taught me is humility, is to know that you are not uh, everything, and your decisions are not always on the top.
right.
You are not always the priority. And what it really taught me is humility, and uh, to 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 put yourself down at times.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
But we see you still traveling extensively, and much of the time you're not probably with your wife. We still see you traveling alone much of the time. So how does it work? How do you make marriage work in spite of having so much to do in life? If you're not traveling, you're doing a lot at Chai, and if you're not doing a lot at Chai, there are other mission work that you're engaged in. So how do you find time to make marriage work for yourselves?
First thing I would say is there has to be a certain level of understanding. If there is no understanding, there's only friction.
Right.
And then what happens? You start picking on things, and which creates a lot more friction, and then nagging comes into the picture and other things. So you have to understand how much both are willing to sacrifice, willing to say yes, and willing to say no. That's one thing. Secondly, is the aspect of at least negotiating. Can I go and can I not go? See, informing is a different story. But when you're negotiating, then you are really bringing it to the table, explaining. And if it didn't work today, then you give pause. You come back tomorrow. You try to the point that it is not the person saying, okay, go, I don't want to see again. But rather saying, okay, I see that you really want to go there. And so I'm happy that you really want to go there. So please go. So it has to come to that point of negotiation where the spouse should really know that this means something a lot to you. Sometimes people don't have the patience for that one. So over time, it took this level of understanding. And because there was a time when my wife did not want to travel, because for her, she has claustrophobia. And so traveling long hours is tough. And secondly, I sleep so well in the plane. On the plane, I can sleep. Longest I've slept non-stop was 10 hours. And
I
my
see
wife,
you traveling economy most of the time.
I travel always economy.
In economy, you can sleep.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I can
amazing.
sleep. And on the other side, my wife cannot sleep while traveling. So that makes it even more boring for her. One, it is boring to travel. Two, it's even more frustrating to see
That the husband is sleeping.
is sleeping. So that makes it like you are putting salt on the wound. So I gave some time, and after a certain point, she herself came and she said, Benny, some of the places I would love to come. I said, sure.
Mm.
So now when we travel, we are able to travel together. And there are times when I would travel alone, and schedules. If I'm traveling alone, it is completely packed, up to 9 meetings a day. But when I'm traveling with my wife, I would try to space it out, and keeping her in mind.
Right.
And so over time, I've learned what is okay for her and what is not okay, and she has learned what is okay and what is not okay.
Right.
And with that, that is how we have learned to manage things, and also keeping in mind the responsibilities here at Chai 316.
Right.
She would say that, okay, you go for this because
I'll take care.
somebody has to be here.
Right.
And I know that I can travel because she is there.
Right.
So just because I'm traveling and I'm on the stage, that does not make me more important and valuable compared to her, because I know the value that she has, that because she is here, I can freely travel.
Yes.
And because I'm freely traveling, the mission can continue,
Continue,
here.
yes.
So there is a very strong dependency on both sides, even though one is more visible and one is less visible.
Right. It's a joy to see this kind of marriage working out so well, and God bless you both, really.
Thank you.
But what I'm more interested in, the way you got married. Your wedding day was all over the news. I married my wife 13 years ago, and ours was a love marriage, and we had known each other, and so we sat down to the smallest of details, and we had the privilege of our family allowing us to decide certain things for our wedding. So we picked the color, we picked everything, and then we had our premarital, and then we planned what to do right after our wedding, where we are going off to on our honeymoon. So this was the story of somebody who knew each other well, and we chose to do our wedding in a way that everyone who comes to the wedding will really remember the wedding as a good one. Even though we had our limitations with our finance, we wanted to give the best of the food, a 5-course meal for our guests. We wanted to have a welcome drink. We wanted to have a big LED screen. All of this, some of this we could do, some of this we compromised. But it was a mutual understanding of what we pay for and what we don't. But yours was interesting. Our wedding didn't make it to the news. You served chai for your wedding. You arrived to this your wedding in a auto rickshaw. Yes, the auto rickshaw was very colorful. I can still remember it. Your wedding dress was very colorful. But how did you convince Zanbeni to it? Or was it Zanbeni who convinced you to it? What was the ethic behind this kind of a wedding? I can't forget. How long has it been, did you say?
10 years.
10 years, okay. Yeah, so how did it all come together?
I think one is because we didn't know each other enough,
Ah,
so you could go with this. Well, I would say that both of us, we wanted simplicity as the theme for our wedding, and anywhere we could cut down costs,
ah,
and at the same time keep it creative.
right.
So these two aspects. So one was simplicity, that was our core. Second one was creativity, and third was color. So, so that's why we didn't have theme and this and that. And again, both of us were very simple, and
Y'all are simple even till date.
yeah, so even now, yes, correct. We
There's
really
not much flamboyance
no,
we see.
no, and again, both of us don't enjoy that, and both of us, we have grown as missionaries. So as missionaries, you live on a very small budget. Sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. But the fact that, like I tell people, I like to prepare myself for famine rather than a festival. See, for a festival, it's great. But then if a famine hits you, you really don't know what to do. In fact, you feel like God is against you.
Mm.
But if you prepare yourself for the famine, you really can enjoy the festival.
Right.
So that's how,
You're really telling the Joseph story right
yeah.
away. Yeah.
So I have always lived
Mm.
and chosen to live a simple life.
Mm.
Even when I have much, I prefer simplicity.
So it wasn't difficult convincing Zanbini to.
No, no.
Was it your idea?
It was my idea. And also, one thing that we decided is that we will not take any money from our parents, neither we will pitch in any money from ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow. So your wedding also was
completely paid off.
wonderful.
Yes.
What a-
So, Zan was a Viva missionary. She hardly had any money.
Mm.
And I was a Viva missionary, but because I traveled, I had some money. And my parents, my father had already saved up for each one of us. South India, they do that.
Yes.
But I told my dad that I don't need any money from you. And with Zan, I told Zan, don't take any money from your parents, and we will trust the Lord.
Mm.
And one after the other, some said, Benny, I can't come for your wedding, but I want to send this.
Mm.
And I want to send this money. I want to send this. And it was just one after the other, one after the other. It just came in. And at the end, we had about 3 lakhs left over
Wow.
that we ended up giving it to a family who wanted to renovate their house. So
That's amazing.
our marriage started off not by clearing EMIs,
By
but
blessing
by
somebody
blessing
else.
somebody else.
You all really did take 12 fragments of baskets of fragments.
Exactly. So, one, coming back to simplicity, we wanted to use an auto because that was something new. In fact, I had this idea 1 month ago. Nobody was game for it. None of them. Neither my board member, nor my family, nor Zan. Nobody was interested with this idea.
Auto rickshaw.
Auto rickshaw. And I have friends who have vintage cars. I have friends who have all these things.
Right.
But I wanted the auto. And I always thought outside the box. And two, I always thought of something simple and yet something others have not done.
Yeah.
I think it was just 2 days before the wedding, it suddenly became a great idea for all of them. So then they said, Benny, I think auto is a good idea.
I think till today nobody has the courage to still do that at all. It still remains a unique idea.
So then we had to go and find the auto, and so we found 2 good-looking autos. So then we printed things on that, and so that was one. Secondly was
So this auto person allowed you to do the design on the auto.
Yeah.
And it
And
was a
these
washable
autos,
thing.
yes, the stickers, they were such kind of stickers that you could remove it without the paint coming off.
So the owner itself drove for you.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
So that was one. 2 was the food aspect.
Right.
No matter how good the food is, people will remember only for a short time. So this is what my statement is, that if the food is good, they'll remember the couple for a week. If the food is bad, they'll remember the couple for a month.
So give bad food.
And if you don't serve food at all, they'll remember you for a lifetime. And that's what has happened. It's been 10 years.
Yes, and
people still remember.
yes.
So for us, we knew that, food should not be an integral part of our wedding. Now, for everybody else, in my entire family, food is integral part.
Yes.
But for us, we knew that we have so many other things that food should not be. So in fact, my idea was only to serve chai and probably some chips or biscuits or something. But they did not agree with that. So finally, we had to compromise to the point of having some chats and this and that, So, okay, it was fine. But it was something unique that people could value the wedding for what the wedding is about rather than what is served.
Yes.
Right? So we wanted to have it in St. Mark's Cathedral.
Yes.
Because
it's a beautiful
it's
church.
a beautiful church. It has history. And so we wanted to make sure that we would not compromise on that part.
Right.
So we wanted to have it in a church.
Wonderful.
So we had our reception right outside the church. So
Yeah.
for us, the reception was not our important part.
Right.
And this is something that I challenge a lot of marriages, a lot of parents, a lot of people is saying, you see, you put the wedding at a time when people can't come.
True.
And you put the
It's
reception at a
midday.
time that
Yeah.
everyone can come. Reception is all about eating.
Eating. Yeah.
Whereas wedding is about, this is called the holy matrimony.
Yes, it is
It
the
is not the,
covenantal time.
correct, it is not the holy reception.
Correct.
But why is reception so valuable? Many times people tell us, if you can't come for the wedding, it's okay,
It's
but
okay.
please don't miss reception.
Reception. Yes.
You see, it's completely a warped understanding.
Yes.
In fact, it should be the other way around.
Other way around. Yes.
Yeah, put your reception at 4.
And make the wedding.
So this is something that's something we really need to change our understanding and our perspective
Lesson learned.
about wedding. So we decided that the wedding will be something valuable.
Yeah.
So how can you make the wedding valuable? Is making your food less valuable.
Beautiful.
Right? So we only had chai and some snacks, right?
Right.
So our wedding was at 3:16 p.m.
Wow.
and we started bang on time.
3:16. Like you always do.
Exactly.
Your,
So
your Friday services also happen
we
at
used to
3:16.
have
Okay,
them, and now slowly things change because based on the college,
Right,
when the students are available,
Right.
so we have to understand their perspective and this one. So our marriage, the way we function like this was just because we both were two simple people. We wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to keep it something colorful. Even though I have my own cousin who owns a wedding gown showroom, we have very close friends who have their own wedding companies, and yet I wanted to honor her culture.
Right.
So took something from her culture and wore designed the wedding dress that would depict her culture.
Right. So beautiful.
So that's what happened. Even our wedding dress was colorful, and we kept the same for reception. And again, that's another thing that I don't understand is you have worn a brand new dress for
Still
the wedding.
clothes.
Yeah, why do you need to change for reception? Other than the fact that you want to show off the wealth that you have or what people have given you. So we wanted to keep it simple and let it be about who we are. Let it be about Jesus
Yes.
in our wedding. And that's what people still remember. And we had wonderful time of worship.
Yes. How did the news come to cover all this?
Yeah. See, one thing was, this is another faith story, is I've been on the news for my travels, for my music and other things. But when we decided to get married, I had this desire inside saying, God, I wish our story of how we are getting married will be on the news. That was just a desire. It was not even a prayer. And within a day, I get a phone call from this girl called Havila. And Havila calls and she says, Benny, I'm Havila. I'm an intern for the newspaper, for Times. And I wanted to write a story on your world travels and other things. And so can I use you and your story as my intern project? I said, sure, but I'm going to get married in a couple of weeks' time. And I am planning for a wedding to be like this, with no serving dinner and all these things coming in auto and everything. She said, okay, I'm going to go and present it to the editor because they have to take the final call. And that's how it started. And she went and presented that, and they were happy with the idea. So they took our wedding story, and on the day of the wedding, they took the pictures and published the story. And then it went to Mumbai, and it went on the page 3 of Mumbai Times, which is like where all the celebrities are featured. And here comes the title, No Frills Wedding. So that's how the news went, and God honored that desire.
So beautiful. So you've been very, very conscious of the wealth that God puts into your hands every single time of your life. From your wedding, even before that, your travels. so much, I've heard your testimony recently that you didn't pay for any part of your travels
Yes.
by yourself, even though you've covered every country on planet Earth. You've not paid for it, and you also told me that you don't choose to stay in big luxury hotels. Whatever is available,
Yes.
you're okay. Many times you've stayed at places of friends,
Yeah.
homes of friends. And I also know that when you bought your car, you bought it without borrowing money from banks or
Yeah.
loans. You collected money for it. You saved, you invested,
Yes.
and you made the money grow. And then, so where did this financial integrity come from? Because I think in the Christian circle, one of the things that often is questioned about is the integrity in the area of finances. Because many times, let's not even narrow it down to Christianity. Anybody who is connected to a religious field is always evaluated on the basis of how their finances
Yeah.
are and where the donations go to, where their charity work, whether is it effective or not. So often we stand on very fragile ground.
Yeah.
People who are serving in ministry and people who are serving in Christian circles, we are often being questioned on financial accountability. So where did this start from? How did you, even come to the fact that you can travel without collecting money?